Stay tuned for the fact check. It's where the party's at.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Welcome to the fact check.
Welcome to the fact check.
That sounded. I sound like NPR.
I was gonna.
Welcome to the fact check, or like a robot.
Yeah, I was gonna say you sound like NPR for sure.
Speaking of robots, okay. So Jess has a chat friend he named Brady. Okay, Brady and I have a beef. Like, I don't like Brady, and I really don't like Brady now because yesterday Jess said he was a double Virgo, and I was like, no, you're not.
Jess or Brady?
Jess did.
Okay.
He said one of his other friends told him he was a double Virgo, and I said, you are not. You're barely one Virgo.
Okay.
He is a Virgo sun, which is very hard for me to understand and reconcile. When some things just don't make any sense.
Yeah.
But he said he was a double, which I am.
Right.
I am tried and true double Virgo.
Yeah, and you have a lot of pride in that.
Well, I don't have pride. I have
gratitude.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine line between gratitude and pride, right? Sometimes it's a little razor thin.
Yeah. But anyway, I was like, a very Virgo of me. I was like, no, you aren't. And there's no way that's true. Then he asked Brady. He said, I'm in an argument with Monica about whether I'm a double Virgo or not. Knowing me, do you think I am?
Like it's an opinion and not a actual thing.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is where things got so out of hand. Brady said, well, the traits of Virgos are blah, 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 blah. So, which you are. So if you think you're a double Virgo, you probably are. It said that.
Right. Like all you got to do is think it. Like he can think he's a Capricorn if he'd like.
But like it shouldn't say that. It can say the beginning part, which is the qualities, but then to say, so if you want to be, like the adding this other piece is so scary.
You're scared.
I am scared. People are asking these chats all kinds of things, and they're just like talking as if they're people. Yeah, sure.
Well, now
that's bad.
I'm going to say something potentially inflammatory, which is they might be more drawn to their fake AI friends because they embrace, like, yeah, if you want to say you're a double Virgo and you weigh that against your real life friends and they're giving you shit about wanting to be a double Virgo, it makes the AI relationship perhaps more appealing.
That's not scary to you?
I mean, it's scary to me that people get even more lonely. Yeah. I think people,
yes.
that's one of my platform issues. Solitary living when we're so social. That's already a problem.
Yeah. And me and you have gotten in a debate before about this. You said that you and I couldn't get like wrapped up in a relationship like that. And so we have to honor that other people won't. But that is not true.
Well, but do you really think Jess is wrapped up in his relationship with Brady, or it's a fun bit?
It's a fun bit on a slippery slope, I think, because if we weren't there and saying that's so bad that he just did that, I don't think he would think it was that bad. I think the slippery piece is we go to the chat because it's technically factual. Like, that's what it's for. It's scouring the internet for the actual answer. And the thought is like, oh, and they just like deliver it in like a colloquial way, but it's facts. And clearly it's not.
Well, but hold on. This is also going to be a little bit combustible. If you ask it a question that there are facts behind, it'll give you. Unfortunately, astrology is not science and it's not facts. There are far more than 12 types of people on the planet, and astrology only accounts for 12 types of people. So that's already, we would agree, probably a mild issue with it.
That's fine. hold on. These are two totally separate things. You can think astrology is bullshit.
Yeah.
But within the rules of astrology, there are things. Like, it's not just willy-nilly you get to pick. It's your birthday. It's very, very specific.
Astrology isn't the boiling temperature of water at 1 ATM, which is always 212. Many people who are arguing in the astrology world will point out astrology is based on a lunar calendar. So it is 5 days shy of a real year. The lunar calendar is 360 days. So all of those astrological signs that were established for those months are already completely wrong. Because every year since they've established those, they've lost 5 days. And so, sure, there's probably an echelon of astrology people who are accounting for that. And they're going, oh, actually, January 1st now is actually this. But already you have a big problem. That you have camps and divisions within this thing. There's no camps about when does water boil.
Okay, that's fine. But I think if you're using these apps that are substantiated, plus I went to an astrologer. That's her job. Her diagnosis of me was the same as the app. So they're all doing the same thing. Whatever. He's not a double Virgo. This is crazy. This is a real, this is I'm not saying astrology is real. I'm saying within the confines of, if you're talking about astrology, there's realities within it, and he is not that.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Monopoly's not real, but there are rules within Monopoly, and you can be in violation or not. But I am suggesting that there isn't the consensus that you're saying there is within astrology.
I think there is.
Okay.
There's definitely is about what your 3 major signs are.
But you would agree, how could it possibly be correct if they said my sign was in Capricorn on January when they said that hundreds of years ago, and they've lost 5 days every year? So how could that date still mean you're Capricorn? It can, just mathematically.
Well, I don't know what they're doing when they're calculating this. Okay. I'm not an astrologer.
Right.
And there's things
Astrologist,
to it that I just don't know.
Don't be disrespectful.
Oh.
You wouldn't say a biologer. You'd say a biologist.
Astrologist. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're kind of kind of weakening your argument by calling him.
Why don't I ask Brady? Hey, Brady, is it okay if I call it astrologer? And he'll be like, if you want to call it that, Monica, sure.
If it's fun. See?
Yeah, that's not, I'm so worried about the world. Anyway, he's not. We confirmed it.
Okay.
And I told him he owed me an apology, and he didn't give it to me.
Oh, maybe Brady will send you an apology. He should ask Brady to send you an apology. He should say, Brady, you've really upset Monica. She's upset about this, and now I have disrepair in this relationship. Can you please fix it? That's a good prompt, and see what he does to fix it.
They do. I won't say who, but there's, this story of a friend who got this really, really sweet, kind message from another friend. And it had I'm sorry's in there and all kinds of things. And then months later, it came out that Chat wrote it. Oh, that's so bad. You cannot do that.
I'm in full agreement with you there. That's a little disingenuous, we would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
But see, this is where we think so because we like writing and we think that
that's fair.
We're good at giving heartfelt notes.
Yes. This is very similar to, I've been such a big proponent and fan of GLP-1s. Because I was never obese and then got thin through all my toil and hard work. So, of course, for me, I was like, everyone that wants to be thin, if they can, that's great, health-wise. But now, I already told you about this GLP-1 that's in stage 2 trials. It's not a GLP-1, but it's another.
About muscles, right?
Yes.
It's a peptide.
Yes, where your body naturally limits how much muscle you'll build because muscle is super inefficient. It's not trying to carry around a bunch of different tissue it doesn't need. So this takes off the parameters and lets your body build as much muscle as it wants. And I was like, hold on a second. If everyone's going to be jacked without going to the gym, what am I going to do? So I finally relate. I can relate a little bit. I'm still for it, whatever. I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, but it hit my back door.
It also is just going to cancel out specificity. It's I look. Should I say it now? God.
And I don't know what you're going to say, but I'm scared.
I'm going to come clean about something.
Okay.
I have been doing an experiment for a month where I'm taking a microdose of a GLP-1. I'm doing it. I'm not doing it for weight loss. I'm doing it to see how it affects my blood work. So we're going to redo my blood work, although I think we're going to go another month. I wanted to check two things. I wanted to see how it affected my cholesterol. I'm going to redo my cognitive test after that because there's some, when we had Eric Topol on, he was like, there's like some studies about it reducing tau and, whatever. All of this interesting stuff. That's actually when I decided I would do it. Exactly. After we had Eric Topol on, I was like, I wonder. And I really wanted to see how it affected my relationship with alcohol.
Yeah.
And shopping.
Yeah.
I can say it has not affected my relationship to shopping at all.
Okay, great. I would have maybe predicted that. Yeah.
Well, it was just like any semi-addictive things I have. I wanted to see how they were affected.
Yeah.
Now, the alcohol has been really interesting. So,
yeah, that's what I'm most curious about, and I haven't gotten an update from you in a while.
I still want it. Like, it really hasn't curbed the craving too much. Maybe a little. Maybe a little bit. Like, it got to a point, and I mean, this sounds really bad, but it's the truth. Like, it was such a habit that I would wake up and I would think like, oh, later, I would like be planning my day and think about, and I'll have a drink at this point after we record. I'll go to Cara, or I'll go here, or I'll have.
Well, when you're making
it was part of my plan of the day.
Right, when you're making your schedule, that's the finish line. It signifies the finish line, exactly. I think. Yeah.
Yes, but when you're thinking about it first thing,
as soon as your eyes open, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It was a little concerning. It was getting a little concerning. So that's gone. I don't wake up and think about it.
Well, here was my prediction, if I can just say it before you give me the details, was like, yeah, I'm sure your desire to drink would be the same. And then I think once you're drinking, you're going to find that you just drink less. And then that's going to reverse engineer the habitual nature of it. How many drinks a night when you go out normally? And then what is it now? And then now we know you don't think about it when you wake up.
Minimally 2. Minimally. I don't remember the last time I would have 1 drink.
Yeah, why do it? Yeah, it's no point.
Right. Yeah. And then since being on it, that is exactly what happened. Like I still wanted a drink, but I want less. And there many, many times have just had a drink.
Wow, that's fucking, Monica, think how crazy that is. That is awesome.
Or I'll get a second drink and I will start drinking it and then I won't finish it.
I mean, guys, this is so
that's very
crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is, I'm sure there's a lot of reasons for this, but 2 martinis, that's normal for me. That's regular. There are definitely times where I've had 3 and been fine.
Yeah.
The next day. 2 martinis now, I feel it the next day.
Mm-hmm.
My hangovers are worse. But also, because we're being honest here.
You're eating less.
I've lost weight. Exactly.
Yeah.
I've lost weight. I'm eating less. and not on purpose. Like it is, because I don't have that original issue of food chatter.
Yeah.
I don't think about food. So there is plenty of times where I'm like, oh, fuck, like I have to eat.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
Like I need to eat food now.
That's kind of another magical element of it is when you're starving, you immediately think of all this stuff you want and your mind goes to the shittiest stuff versus, oh, I haven't eaten in 6 hours and I have to eat. So what am I going to put in my body? I'm not craving anything. You make better choices all of a sudden. You go like, oh, I need protein and
Oh, it's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's not like, there are so many times where I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry. I just like need to eat a whole pizza.
Yes.
That has not happened.
Right. Or I need to drive across town to get this chicken sandwich.
Yeah, I know. But I also understand. I'm conflicted about this because food is a big part of my life. I love food and I love restaurants and I love exploring new things and I love cooking. And so this has been interesting because I like that about my life. And so for that to not be as much of a factor, I don't love that part. And by the way, I should tell people I'm on a extremely small dose. It is a powerful drug.
Yeah, it's almost hard to believe it happened in our lifetime.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
Let's take a minute to thank our presenting sponsor, Audible. With Audible, the leading audio entertainment app, it's easy to discover new stories and ideas while going about your day.
Yeah, and with over 1 million audiobooks, Audible originals, and more, it's basically impossible to run out of things to listen to. Plus, there's just something about audio storytelling that hits a little different.
Yeah, it really does, especially Audible originals that feature performances from celebrities and top voices. It's like watching a movie in your head. One on my list is Treasure Island. Which is an Audible original drama. It's a timeless tale of pirates, lost treasure, maps, and mutiny. What more could you need?
That sounds really fun. I'm more of a psychological thriller girl myself.
Yeah, you're dark.
Yeah. I'm dark and I'm broody. And I've been hearing all about the author Frida McFadden. And I love that I can listen to her audiobooks on the Audible app when I'm commuting, taking my walks, as you know, or just like doing laundry and chores.
Well, with Audible, you can find the genres you love and discover new ones. There's more to imagine when you listen. And to make it even better, Audible has a special offer for armchairies. Sign up for a free 30-day Audible trial, and your first audiobook is free. Visit audible.com/Dax. That's audible.com/Dax.
I think a lot of people have that fear you do, which is like your life is built around being social this way. Go out to a restaurant you love. Go have some drinks you love. But I do think people should have the faith and confidence in themselves. It's identical to like kids. What are they going to do if you don't have this video game? Well, they're going to find something else to do. That kids are not going to ever sit and stare at a wall. If you take away their toys, they're going to go outside and pick up a stick. So to have the faith and confidence, like you're a social butterfly and you're going to be like, will you end up playing pickleball in the evenings? I don't know. It'll just be some, it'll be a transition into something else that's social. You're not going to lose being social. You're just going to learn new things you like to do that are social, I think.
Yes, I think you're right. But like if there was a shot that you were taking that made you have zero interest in cars,
Yeah.
Sure, you'd find something else, but like it brings you joy. It is something in your life that brings you joy. And for me, I can only speak for me, my love for food and restaurants and that culture is not problematic. It is not like I can't control myself. It's not like I can't stop eating, or it's not. So so removing it is
scary,
unnecessary, Yeah,
and a little scary because it's what you know. I'm just saying, Just like the drink thing reverse engineered, the habitual part, I definitely think your life will just expand in different ways. Like that whatever gap is created, you'll fill with something different. And I'm optimistic it'll be also quite enjoyable.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how long I'm going to do it. I'm going to see after I look at the results of my blood work and stuff. Another thing that's like sort of potentially a negative. Again, I think it's because I am not doing it for food chatter and how so many people, which I do think this is a miracle for so many people, where they're like, I just used to think about food all the time and now I'm not, which is great. But for me, it almost has the opposite effect, because I'm like, I am thinking about food and that I'm not eating it. Like it is on my mind. It's like, oh my God, like I didn't eat, or I have to eat today. And what am I going to eat that like, is it going to be enough? That's not, and then I've been also watching, I'm back in cooking videos. I've been watching so many cooking videos at night. And then I was like, oh God, like, is it an obsession? It just is it's feeling a little strange. It's feeling a little strange, where I'm like just watching these cooking videos and everything looks so good. And then that's like satisfying enough.
Yeah.
So I do have to monitor this.
But also, I think it would be hard for you to parse out what you're compensating for. So it's like, I don't know that your cooking video thing is very natural and seems obvious to think that's about food, but that cooking video thing might be about alcohol. You might normally be buzzed at 8 o'clock, and that's calming and satiating you in a way that now that thing's not. So you're looking to regulate with this other thing. So it's like, yeah, it could feel like it's food related, but it might actually be alcohol related.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's just so strange that it's food. Like, and because I'm watching these videos.
But is it food or is it videos, right? Like.
No, it's food.
Okay.
Well, it's both. I mean, it's all Allison Roman. I've just been rewatching all of her videos.
Yeah.
I miss her. But then I'm like, oh my God, this chicken piccata video. Oh my God, amazing. I'm making that. And then I'll buy the stuff.
Yeah.
And then.
You don't want to eat chicken piccata. Like, you should just go insane. Yeah. You should just start making lots of meals and chucking them out the window in your alley.
Yeah. I made a delicious peach galette.
What's a galette?
It's a freeform pie.
Okay. I don't know if I know what a freeform pie is. No pie tin is required?
No top of the pie. You've seen them. It's like there's crust sort of on the bottom and on the sides, but the fruit is exposed in the middle.
Like a quiche?
No, there's more crust than a quiche. It's like folded over the side.
Okay.
And then, but the middle of the fruit is exposed.
Not a quiche à la Lorraine.
Delicious.
Not an à la Lorraine.
No, nothing to do with the quiche at
Okay, all right. Not an à la Lorraine.
And I took it to Elizabeth and Andy's. We played Mahjong, and that was good because then I shared it with everyone, and it was a hit.
Oh, good. Can I just say there's a funny bit of human nature happening, which is like when you're gluttonous, you're ashamed. Like if you're like, yeah, I ate this whole fucking pie. I brought over this pie I made for everyone. They ate the whole thing. You'd be like ashamed. And then if you go and you make a pie and you barely eat something, you're ashamed. It's just like this, an original sin. We're just so built to like, I don't know, just beat the shit out of ourselves for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you make a pie and you have one bite, why, okay. There's no moral failing there.
No, it's not. I don't think for me it's about a moral failing so much as it's just like keeping an eye on this new experiment.
Do you think we'll start to see people of means die of starvation? I mean,
honestly,
really?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think it's inconceivable.
No, it's not. It's not to be. it's a very slippery eating disorder slope. It is. Like, I can see, because you're seeing changes pretty quickly, and you're not hungry. And then your brain is also like, I like the way this looks, so I'm not. It is complicated.
I agree with you that it's complicated, but I'll hear about it, because anytime I talk about ED, I'm in trouble. But I will say this: I think from the ED people I've talked to, it's much more about the control. Like, even when we were talking to Nikki Glazer, it's like knowing that she can overcome hunger is the spike of adrenaline. It's that control over the urge is what's satisfying and addictive. Whereas you don't have an urge you're overcoming on the GLP-1. You're just not hungry.
Yeah, it's just that we should have hunger.
Yeah.
And I think this is what happens it can happen in eating disorders, where that's how it starts. It starts with like, I'm hungry, but I don't have to eat. I'm better than this craving or whatever. That's how it starts. But I do think you get to a point where you like food disgusts you. Yeah.
Yes, but I do think you still have the like reward of knowing that's hard. I don't know. I agree with you. But I also do think it's a bit, my guess is it's a bit different.
Yeah, it might be. I think it's a slippery slope, and to be paid attention to.
Well, I admire you for being honest about it, because
I wasn't sure I was going to talk about it on here, but like, why not? That actually, the secrecy around it is what I have thought is a problem to begin with.
That's the problem.
Where people are like, I'm just working out a ton. And then they're actually taking this, and other people are like, well, I'm working out and nothing's happening. Like, this does have an impact on your body. It does. And so I think it's important, if your body is changing. I mean, look, I'm not telling everyone to be like so open and you have to shout anything from the rooftops. You can keep anything you want to yourself. But I do think that's part of the problem around it. And so I think saying like, yeah, I'm on this is important to say, especially if you're starting to look different.
Yeah, I'd say it's ethical.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was just going to say, as your friend, you're being a little too hard on yourself, and just lighten up a little bit on my friend Monica, okay?
Do you think I am?
Yeah, you're like, you have all this weight, pun not intended. You have all this like heaviness around this topic, and I don't think you should at all.
Well, I think it's important, if I'm going to be doing something that's altering my body and mind, potentially, to take it seriously. I just take it seriously. And I don't.
You seem to have a tiny bit of guilt about it, is what I feel like I'm detecting. And I don't think that's reasonable. I mean, it's reasonable. I don't think it's right.
I think you're right. I think I do have some guilt, because I'm a small person.
Yeah.
And it feels kind of wild a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I guess, again, if there was like a shot that gave you perfect skin, no acne, and like someone with perfect skin was taking it, I guess I'd be like, why are you doing that? But actually, I probably wouldn't.
You wouldn't, right? You go, who cares?
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean,
but there's a lot of controversy around this topic.
I think there was a ton, and I think it's dissipating at one of the most rapid rates I've ever seen, for good reason. You have Eric Topol. You have all these doctors. I think it's changing really quickly, and I think it's absurd. Yeah. You know, no one feels guilty that they take an aspirin for their headache and it works. There's this litany of things we take that help us. We put on eyeglasses. Someone with great eyesight, everyone's trying to do the best they can and be the best version of themselves. And the things that help people do that, I don't think they should And so it's not hurting another person. There shouldn't be any guilt around it.
Or you. It shouldn't hurt other people or you.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. And I guess I'll keep people updated.
Yeah.
If they want to be updated.
Yeah. I think it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Want to do some facts?
Okay, let's do some facts.
Do you think I should have worn my Superman outfit for the facts?
I think once was great. I think it was great. I mean, it's just...
Once was too many?
No, once was
once
great.
was
But this is a thing we talk about all the time. You don't...
Don't go back to the well.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You did it, and it was great. But if you do it again, then it's like, oh, he just
this guy's
can't
always,
stop.
He thinks he's Superman.
Yeah, he now thinks he's Superman. I thought it was very cute that when you walked in, he said, oh, I fucked up on casting. Or he was great. I really enjoyed him.
Yes, he was really, really unique.
Mm-hmm.
He has a very specific personality. He's very authentic. He really knows who he is, and he's so knowledgeable.
So knowledgeable, and he was open with us, which was great, and I think hard to do.
Yeah.
That's a lot he went through. I remember it.
Yeah. You know, I didn't ask him this I'm sure he couldn't have answered it, but I was thinking when I was watching the trailer of Superman in the theater, like the things that are baked into if you direct one of these movies, you have to go to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And they're so, they can be brutal. The Comic-Con world, who's like super, I guess, religious about the text, these cartoons and stuff.
Yes, very important.
People can get destroyed. Like, I don't know, like Sonic or something. I remember somehow there was some issue with Sonic. They were kind of revolted. Again, I personally can't relate to being obsessed with Sonic in a way that I would be furious that the movie did it wrong.
Yeah.
And that's light. These these comics.
I know. Well, because they're part of their soul.
Absolutely. But I was wondering, like, what the stress of directing one of those movies is, where you have to do something original. Why else do it?
Yeah.
And I was even thinking, like, oh, he brought the dog back. It's wild to see the dog in the trailer. That Superman has a dog.
Yeah.
But of course, he has the historical record that there were some comics where Superman had a dog.
Right.
But anyways, just the notion, like, you're trying to make decisions about what thing you want to make. And I just wonder if the chorus of what this really rabid fan base could turn on you at any minute, if that's stressful.
I'm sure it is. But I think that's why it requires someone who also cares so deeply about comics and about these characters and superheroes, because it's not just like, oh, we have a great filmmaker. Although maybe Nolan, I don't know Nolan's background. I don't know if he
got crazy about the
if he
Dark
loved
Knight.
comics.
Yeah, I don't either. But you're kind of obligated to become a historian. You're going to get challenged, and you got to have all the right answers. So it's like, in addition to directing this very hard to direct movie, you've got to kind of become a historian.
Yeah.
Or they'll call you out.
That's the Sonic issue. It was something about his
So I don't know
nose.
which one's which.
The left was the original, and he was too realistic for people.
Oh, okay.
And
So their issue is too realistic.
I can relate for Harry Potter a bit.
Right.
When that movie was cast, it's always like, oh God, is this going to be okay? Or even just, is the world going to match? I mean, although maybe that's different. That's probably different, because with comics, there are visuals.
Yeah.
So,
And by the way, you don't want to get locked into the visuals of someone's hand drawing from 50 years ago.
right.
You want to do something spectacular and new and original.
Yeah, that's tricks.
So I just think it's a tightrope.
It is. Okay, is the Hall of Justice in Super Friends modeled after the Cincinnati Union Terminal? Yes. He said DC's Justice League was way before Marvel's Avengers. Justice League was created in 1960, and Avengers was created in 1963.
All right, so 3 years earlier.
3 years. He said St. Louis is the only big city in the U.S. whose population is smaller now than in 1900. So in 1900, the city of St. Louis was 575,238. And in 2020, 301,578.
Wow.
But Cleveland also. Cleveland, 1900, 381,968. 2020, 372,624. Okay, we mentioned the trolley problem, and I wanted to remind people about the trolley problem. The trolley problem is a thought experiment in ethics that poses a moral dilemma involving a runaway trolley. The core scenario involves a trolley headed towards 5 people and the option to switch it to another track where it will kill only 1 person. This problem explores the complexities of moral decision-making, particularly when faced with conflicting outcomes. That's like a utilitarian
Thought experiment.
Yes.
But then you get into the tricky scenario where if it's 5 top brass in the Nazi party
Exactly.
versus Louis Pasteur on the left,
I'm saving Louis.
it's not as simple as 5 to 1.
It's really not.
I'd have no problem throwing that switch, would you?
Killing.
The 1. The breakdown is if you ask people what should happen, everyone's like, well, the 1 person should get killed. Then if you put them in a situation where they have to operate the switch, it goes down. I could easily throw the switch.
I can't.
You just walk away from it and be like, fate wanted these 5 people to die.
It's not about wanting. Like, I don't think like things are meant to, I don't think it was meant to be that those 5 people. But yes, my intervention is I can't live with.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to happen the way it's going to happen.
But it's how you frame it, right? Because your intervention would mean you were culpable for 1 death. But if you insist on yourself, no, I'm culpable for 5 if I don't act.
I know.
It's like kind of how you frame it.
It's just that person was not going to be killed.
Right. They were on the track that would need a diversion.
I'm inflicting it on that person to save others. I can't do that.
You can't do it. Yeah. I hope if I'm the 1 person, you're in charge. And I hope if I'm in one of the 5 people, they let me pick. That's what I hope.
I mean, I guess if I'm in the group of 5.
You'd be like, dude, throw it. What are you talking about? There's 5 of us.
I don't know if I would feel like that. And we've talked about this. I don't like the notion. I mean, yeah, if we make it Nazis and Louis Pasteur, that's very specific. But like, I don't like the notion that one person's more valuable than another person in general.
Yeah, no one likes that notion.
Well, some do, like, or not, they don't like it, but they believe it.
Yeah, I believe that for sure. I think the value between Jeffrey Dahmer and Benjamin Franklin is very different values.
I agree, but those are specific people, and I'm more talking about categories. Like, people think this business person is better off than this,
it gets immediately to you
or
not having kids, I think. Yeah.
This is the conversation. Like,
yeah,
I should die sooner than a parent.
Yeah, but you've extrapolated a lot. You've gone to like what the worst case scenario of that evaluation would be. Like, well, this 1 person has a family and these 5 people are single.
Well, no, I'm just this is just a deviation of the
potential outcome.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about these people, but it's all a question of placing value on people.
Yes.
And we don't know anything about these trolley men.
That's right.
And women.
That's right. You'd be regretful if you saved the 5, killed the 1, and they go, by the way, that was the top brass of the SS. And the guy you killed was Gandhi.
Okay. Well, I didn't kill anyone. What I would do, probably, but I would kill 5 adults to protect a kid.
I don't know if that's the right call.
I can't have a kid get killed.
Yeah, we have. Rightly so. We weight kids above.
So is it different for you with gender? Is it?
If there were 3 men and 3 women, I would kill the 3 men.
No, but what if it's the 5 men and 1 woman?
Well, this is great because now that's why these experiments are great. They force you to put a numeric, quantifiable value on things.
That's what I'm saying. It's
because
crazy.
I don't think 5 to 1, no. 1 to 1 for sure, I pick the man to die. 2 to 1 is hard. I might kill 2 men over 1 women's. But I wouldn't do 3.
Yeah.
So then you've backed me into saying I think women are twice as valuable as men. But I don't know that I stand by that statement. But in practice, that might be the case. How about you? Would you kill a man or over a woman?
If it's
You go,
if
one
it's
of them's going to die.
one-to-one,
Yeah. They go, one of these people's going to die.
and I have to pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd kill the man.
Yeah.
And as long as they're strangers, it's all so horrible.
Yeah.
But look, this is why, when people are doing these rankings and it's like you're a single person, you should obviously die. Then they're like the father should die. I think that's what most people would say. If you're ranking, it's like single person goes, then father goes. The one to protect is the mother.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I stand by that.
I don't. I mean, I know bad mothers
Yeah.
and good fathers. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way to. I know bad parents.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
maybe
it's-
better if all the parents got wiped off and they
I
went to live
mean,
with aunt and uncle.
That's right.
Okay.
Anyway. All right. Well, that's it.
Those were the last of the facts?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I love you.
Love you.